move if you want to.
Nah, we'll be alright. It's the mailman. Let's see.
Energy.
What do you think of NTM?
I fucks with NTM. Shout out my boy Drew. My son a hustler, bro. He gonna do big things. I fuck with the NTM movement. Building his own brand. Don't be surprised you see NTM Records real soon doing big things. I fuck with y'all boys down in the South, yo. Y'all keep doing y'all thing.
Yeah, NTM's pretty cool.
Next question.
Nah, I want to speak on that, but like I'm looking for a good way to speak on it.
They say time is that man.
Nah, you got that question. Okay, let's see. What made you want to follow God?
Me personally, I don't follow the God that most religions follow. I believe in a creator. It would be just a huge coincidence. Like everything started from something. They say, oh, Earth happened because these two shits collided. Okay, how did that come about? You gotta answer that. Okay, how did that come about? You gotta answer that. Okay, how did that come about? Like it's a never-ending loop. Like it had to come from something for me. So I feel like there's definitely a creator.
Definitely a greater force, an intelligent force, because this is all by design. You have this phone right here. This phone didn't just happen. You had to have people that designed it, people that planned it out, and people that said, this is what it's gonna be. And now it's here. What made me want to follow God in the traditional sense? Well, for one thing, I grew up in a Christian at home. I've been going to church since I was young. I strayed away from it for a while, but then this one LSD trip really convinced me that I needed to change my ways.
Word?
Yeah, it was really an LSD trip that started the whole thing, that got the ball rolling and made me say, I need to just fix what I got going on, because I wasn't living right. And then just from that day, you know, day by day, I've been saying I'm gonna take this more serious, looking into the Bible more and whatnot. It's really a paradigm shift, like that. When you give yourself to that, when you give yourself to God, when you start following this book, your paradigm changes. You start looking at life in a different light. You see how these things are done and that is done. You see a lot of things. It's really just through a different lens, and this different lens just, I personally believe it keeps you away from the BS. It keeps you away from the nonsense. You definitely are at better peace when you separate yourself from the shenanigans out here. So yeah.
That's a fact. I respect people who take their religion seriously. I can't respect the people who be half-assing their shit. Like, who be going to church, this and that, but then be doing crazy other shit. Like, you just can't respect it. But if you really about your religion, like, you really be following to the book, like, I respect you, because many people can't do that.
Nah, it's definitely a fight though. It's not that easy, because you know when you say I want to follow God, whether you're a Muslim or a Christian or a Jewish person, you know, you gotta say no to a lot of the things that are enjoyable in this life. So I know Muslims, they don't drink, they don't sip no alcohol, and you know, from my experience with it, it can be pretty enjoyable. You know, you get loose, but they don't get down with that. They can't, because their book says so. As a Christian, you're not supposed to fornicate. You're not supposed to have sex before marriage. And as fun as that is, you gotta say no to it. And it's a fight, because just imagine you in a spot and then some some bad chick, she just throw herself on you.
Yo.
It's like if she throws herself on you, bro.
I'm not saying no.
But I have to say no, and that's hard because like now my meat's hard. She's rubbing on me. Man, it's not easy, but it's a fight. It's definitely a fight.
That should have definitely tested your faith. Like, to be honest, I don't think you'll ever know how strong your faith is until you're in that situation.
Yeah, once you're really tested, you know, you can be all of it. That's like any relationship. Within any relationship, it's gonna be tested, and whether or not you continue to move forward with the relationship will determine whether or not it's actually real. You know, it's like if you have an argument with this one friend, and if after that argument y'all never speak again, then that just goes to show that, you know, y'all wasn't really down for each other. Like, y'all wasn't committed like that from the jump.
That ass, like, I know he my real friend because we done been through some shit. Like, we done dead ass fought and shit. Like, so I know this my homie. Cause like, there's a lot of people you go through certain shit with, and y'all just won't ever build that back up. Like, if you, for example, if you separated from somebody like a year or two, like just a long amount of time, but y'all end up coming together again, like really building a relationship again, like y'all some real friends, because you're not gonna do that with a lot of people. Well, at least I would. Like, I like to keep my circle small.
It definitely, it's limits to it though. Like,
what you mean? I mean, yeah.
Like if you shoot my cousin, for example, then then that's different.
Of course, everybody got a line. Of course.
You just can't cross those boundaries, and you know the boundaries. Just don't cross the boundaries. Know where to step and where not to step. But then over small stuff, over petty stuff, you know, you eventually work it out. And if you don't work it out, then
that wasn't real fun. Well, everybody got a line. Some people just might be different than others, but I feel like y'all gotta establish those boundaries. So at some point, it's best to do it at the get-go, but like, there's a line for me. You just can't cross that line.
And that ties into, you know, your faith, because you're gonna be tested. And you know what? When you're tested a lot, you might fail. You know, if you have a bad chick rubbing on you and doing all this, and you have sex with her, you failed. But then what are you gonna do after that? Are you gonna say, you know what?
Hold on. Say you failed because you're religion.
Nah, I failed before. I've been tested before, and I failed. I've had my moments where, you know, the test was there and I did fail, but then it's a matter of what are you gonna do about it now? Are you just gonna say, you know what, this isn't for me, I'm gonna stop? At the same time though, it doesn't mean for you to willfully keep failing. Like, it's a fight. It's really a fight. You gotta fight to say no. You gotta be strong in saying no. It's a possibility that you might give in, but you gotta fight to make sure that never happens.
Facts.
It's like any relationship.